Eagle eye, eagle eye, eagle eye, eagle eye, eagle eye, eagle eye, eagle eye. Questions asked throughout the campaign with a confidence rising. I told JC, Nate, and Rich I don't press. Hold on a second. We're getting a bit of feedback. Hold on a second. Hey, Rich. We up on that one. I got a bit of feedback, you know. Sounding good now, sounding good now, sounding good. Say no more. Hey, dude. Make sure you drop a like and subscribe, people. Questions to ask throughout the campaign with the confidence rising. I told JC, Nate, and Rich that good times are coming, only for these diving. Bang times, reactions, watch alongs for the pride of London thriving. The Eagles of South stay flying. Keep your eyes on us, we ain't hiding. Hey. Man, take two, man. Big up, Rich. Big up, everyone.
Alright, that was gold. I had to big up everyone. First and foremost, though, rest in peace, Queen Elizabeth. Obviously, the news broke out probably about 15, 20 minutes ago or so, officially of her passing. So you obviously drop your hearts, your roses, your flowers, rest in peace. Drop them in the comment section below. We're still going to go ahead with proceedings. But bear in mind, there could actually be this weekend. There are rumours that all major sporting events and stuff will be postponed this weekend and such, but we'll still do the show as per usual, just in case as well. I know my Wi-Fi is moving mad, but let's get it. I mean, it's better than Nicky's. JC, how you doing, my guy?
Yeah, man, I'm all good, and Rihanna's just put me towards this, so that makes me feel even better. So we've got another 100 since the 1K. So we're moving.
That's wicked. Appreciate everyone that's subscribing, man. That's cold. Nicky, how you doing, my guy?
Well, when my Wi-Fi is working, I'm doing great. Obviously, had a great show on Tuesday, hosting the Premier League View Show, episode 1. Other than that, feeling good. A little bit of a change down here, obviously. But yeah, feeling good, mate. Happy to be here.
Yeah. If you didn't know, like, we had to kind of tell Nicky he had to change his clothing. So, like, he tried to rock up here in a different top.
I was wearing a Dortmund shirt. Let's celebrate, man. I won a Champions League game, yeah? Let me celebrate that. I did better than all the other English teams on the day.
You're moving like Brighton. You're supporting two teams.
Hey, now I am no.
Well, at least for them,
supporter.
At least for them, they got their main manager at their main club now. So.
Daddy. There you go. Last but not least, obviously, the rapper himself, creator of the lyrics, Mr. CM. How you doing, my guy?
I'm doing good. It's an honor to be back on Eagle Eye Football, man. And big up to everybody in the chat once again. Big up to everybody in the panel, Rich, JC, Nicky. Big up to everybody involved.
Wicked. You know, let's start with you, C. Because obviously I know you got to watch on to get through as well, so we're going to get through all your bits first. How's the season looking for you now?
Well, it's looking a lot better than it was after the first 2 games. I think if you would have said to me after Brentford that we were going to go on a 4-game winning streak, I would have told you, what the hell are you talking about? Especially with that win against Liverpool. We've won against Arsenal, 2 big teams in their own right. And obviously, Liverpool have their own problems, and Arsenal, they've started decent going into the season. So that may have been even more impressive to certain people. But, you know, what we're starting to see with the team is a sense of organization, you know, a system that we haven't we haven't even seen that for a long time, speaking about Manchester United fans in general. So we're lacking the organization that we're seeing, but also how the manager is operating. There's certain team selections, how he is selecting a team, and what the thought process is into selecting those teams. So it's looking a lot more optimistic than it was after Brighton and Brentford. But we do understand that there is still a long way to go, still a lot of things to work on, and this will be another one of those games.
Absolutely. And just as a reminder, like, we're obviously with the assumption that games will go ahead. However, please bear in mind these games may likely to be cancelled. What do you think Ten Hag has done differently since the first two games? If you haven't answered that already, sorry.
I think in the first two games he was almost feeling things out. I think what I've seen since then are the players, credit to them, progressing a lot more, being more assured within this system and really working on their craft. They've been a lot better, not just form-wise, but technically in terms of keeping the ball, progressing the ball, but also working as a collective. And I think that's something that Erik ten Hag has worked on a lot at the start of the season, during the pre-season, making sure that as a team we are together. Because for large parts of the previous regimes, whether it be Ole, Ragnick short spell, Mourinho towards the end, the team has become disjointed, and that has filtered towards the fans as well. So he needed to find a way to first and foremost find a lineup that he can rely on. And what we've seen with these same lineup selections in these Premier League games is he can rely on this lineup, and he's building a bit of togetherness, but also reliability. You know, you're giving players the opportunity to understand what they need to do and what their roles are within the system before you kind of integrate other people there. And obviously the people coming off the bench, they'll get their little cameos and slowly start to understand too.
If you were to say, I'm sorry, I'm bare muting and unmuting because, as you can hear, the bear is excited. If you were to say who's the player that we should watch out for, who would that be?
Ooh, I would say right now it's Christian Eriksen. You can argue with him in the midfield. He's given us an option that we haven't had for a very long time in a deep line playmaker, somebody that has the technical ability to pull off passes, play through the lines, and really get the ball to guys like Bruno Fernandes, or whether it be Jadon Sancho, Anthony, Marcus Rashford on those wings to play those diagonal passes. And that makes us a threat, because the quicker we attack and the more decisive we are on the attacks is when we are a better side, especially in this moment of time. Counter-attacking football can be devastating for us. But he can also offer, act as an option where, as a passer, a devastating passer that can open up defenses. So Christian Eriksen is really a midfielder that we've missed out on, him. As fans, we've called out for a very long time now, because even though Bruno Fernandes, he has given us, goals and assists, good form over a certain period of time, he doesn't have the technical ability to open up defenses, play through the lines that Christian Eriksen can.
Cool. Last question from me, then we'll go through the comments, and then JC, Nicky, you can also check out your questions for CM, or even talk on the Palace perspective. Donny van der Beek. Now, I know obviously he's injured at the moment. Do you see him having a future at your club? But at the moment for Donny,
it's a sticky one still. I mean,
big man thing, yeah. It's not looking good, bruv. It's not looking good.
Rich, JC, Nick, look, the optimistic side of me would like to think that maybe down the line there is a spot, there is a role for Donny van der Beek. But I look at, the previous criticisms of the player. It's not his work ethic, it's not his attitude, but it's more so his physicality and his durability for this level. You know what I mean? So
I'm glad you saw that.
Yeah.
When I
I'm
did.
sorry, it was too good. I had to put it up.
No, man, but it's the criticisms of his durability and you know physical ability to play in this league have always been in question. So Eric Ten Hag, this is his best chance to actually try and earn a role in this team under his former manager, somebody that he thrived under. But at the same time, I don't think Eric Ten Hag's gonna have that level of sentimentality with him. It's either you're gonna work or you're not gonna work. And right now, you know, he hasn't really seen a lot of game time. And I know it's early in the season, but that's still not a good sign, because even then, you wanna give your players time that you believe will work well within the system and give your team the best possible chance of winning. And he hasn't really seen that.
Fair enough.
I think one question I was going to ask about a United player is that Martin has had a very tough start to the Premier League. I don't think he was exactly ready for the step up to what the Premier League would have been. But I think after he had his little reality check at Brentford, he seems to have got his act together a little bit. Would you still say that height is a problem for him as a centre back, or do you think he could be like Cannavaro in the sense of he doesn't need height to be a good centre back? He just makes up for it everywhere by being exceptional everywhere else.
I don't think he will have a lot of problems with his height. He actually is very good in the air. When you see him, he wins a lot of his aerial duels and stuff like that. And he's very competitive, which helps, having that hunger, having that desire and competitive nature from within to win every contest. I think definitely there will be, when you come up against top strikers, central defenders, especially with, you know, certain deficiencies in their game, whether it be speed, whether it be height, there'll always be a way to get at them, or, you know, pull them out of position, or you know, give them a bad game or a horrid game where they'll be like, I can't be arsed, or I just can't wait for this game to be done. But I think for the most part, Martinez will be all right, just as long as he has a stable centre-back partner like Varane next to him, praying that the injuries don't come through. Obviously, it is early days, but if we can get stability with our centre-back partners, it should be all right.
Yeah, so looking at this from a Palace perspective, if we're looking at that team sheet and we're seeing a back two of Martinez and Maguire, are we looking at that thinking we can score goals here?
With Maguire in the back four, we are a lot more vulnerable. I think what Ten Hag has done in these past 4 games, giving the likes of Delo, Varane, Martinez, and Malacia the chance to play together consistently and build a bit of, you know, a healthy relationship together. They've been able to communicate well, but they're also, like I said, once again, building a great relationship with each other where they're all competing. They all want to compete. Whereas Harry Maguire, I'm not sure if he, number one, he's not in good form, but also, does he have the ability to communicate and command that back line? I don't think so, because with the sample size that we have seen in a Harry Maguire-led back four and definitely centre-back partnership, he hasn't been able to be a good communicator, a good leader, but also his personal performances haven't been good either, which is a massive problem. And you look at what he should be strong at, which is aerial duels, physicality, and he all just seems a bit feeble. He's rash defensively as well. And what you see is anybody that's next to him, they almost have to make up for that by doing double the work. So if you put Martinez next to Maguire, he's gonna have to clean up for Maguire's mistakes, but that already puts us at a disadvantage. So any back four with a Maguire in there right now, and this isn't agenda driven or anything like that, it's just significantly weaker than what we have had in Varane, Martinez, Malacia, and Delo.
I think one more question I'll ask before going into the comments is, What has Ten Hag changed with Rashford? Because he seems to have gotten his swagger back a bit. Is it that he's finally not injured? He's not focusing on PR anymore? Or has something changed on the pitch which we haven't seen?
I think with Rashford, two crucial things was his fitness and his confidence, and he seemed to have lost both in recent years. I think he looks a lot fitter than he has been in previous seasons, but also whether it be Erik ten Hag taking him to the side and saying, look, you're going to play a role in this team and the guys are going to need you. Obviously, we're promoted to run more. We need to become a more active team under this Ten Hag system. So we're going to need guys to run more, be fit, and play for each other. And what we've seen with Marcus Rashford, he's got his confidence back, but also he's been a lot more direct and decisive, whether it be him trying to get assists, playing the pass at the right time, or just making a direct run to go through on goal, and also having the composure to put away that chance. We've seen it in these past few games where he has scored goals, he's got assists. He's been a lot more decisive, which is a main criticism of his decision making and what he does when he's on the ball, basically. So it's a good thing to see, because a lot of people were turning their back on Marcus Rashford, and we all have our moments where we're like, I don't know if it's gonna work out. But right now, it looks like he's slowly getting back to that level that he once was, probably in like 2019 or so.
100%. All right, let's hit through some comments. So David Lee with a popcorn and Rip Queen Elizabeth. Sean with a laughing with a. I'm guessing that's the outtake. Yeah, Rip Lizzie. Yeah, apparently he's off key, but we let it slide. It's all remote, don't worry. So we all heard it at different times. Big up CM. Yeah, this again. Thank you everyone for liking and subscribing. Remember, keep them notifications on as well, so you get notified when the stream comes on half an hour before and when it goes live, so you don't miss out. Sean, Rip Liz. 2-1 Arsenal are up now. You guys are good. I don't think football will go ahead. Big up CM, the Queen. I think if football don't go ahead, I think we spoke about it with Rich a second before we went live. I think that means Palace doesn't play another game of competitive football until after the World Cup. No? Or like it's like a month without football.
Yeah, because there's an international break coming up as well, isn't there?
Yeah, it's a long time without us playing any football.
4 weeks.
Yeah, big up.
I do have an update on the
oh yes, go on, please.
On that. So this is off the Independent. It says that professional sport does not have a mandate to cancel sporting events, and it is up to the individual sporting boards to decide whether it is appropriate to continue with their schedules. It's down to the FA, from the Premier League all the way down to the Sunday leagues. Other sporting events across the continent, such as the Formula One, are still going ahead, and everything else. So it just depends on what the FA say.
That's an update and such.
Yeah, big up every single one of you guys. There's a lot of comments coming through today, so we'll just fly through them. So CM, you watched this channel before, and you know what's coming up. We're going to go through a combined 11, and remember, you're going to need at least 3 United players in here, remember?
I see what you did there.
So I put one in here for you already. In the goalkeeper.
Yeah, we can agree on that one.
So what we're going to do is we're going to go through the rest of the team, and we need to have at least 3 Palace players or at least 3 Man United players, depending on how you're feeling today.
Cool.
So we'll start off with the left back. So we will let you go through it all, and then afterwards, then we'll come through with our opinions.
That the left back one is a tricky one still, because I'm a fan of Tyreek Mitchell. Malassia's he's had a mixed start to his Premier League life. I thought against Arsenal and a couple other games. He struggled in certain areas, but he has also shown his ability to go forward and be an active defender. I still think he's a really raw talent. Whereas I look at Tyreek Mitchell, he's very solid defensively, has a little bit to improve on going forward.
To be fair, Mitchell hasn't had a very good season at all so far.
Yeah,
he really hasn't.
Okay. All right, then for that reason, I'll pick Malacia then. What are you guys saying?
Yeah, well, we'll show you what we're saying after. Okay, back.
Okay. Right back, Diogo Dalot. I thought he's changed a lot of minds when it comes to Manchester United fans, and he's had a good start of the season.
All right, centre back.
So I'm gonna put Martinez as one left centre back, and I'm gonna pick Joachim Andersen, RCB.
Fair enough. Well, he has been one of our best players this season so far. So
yeah, man.
We're definitely not disagreeing with that one. All right, let's move into the midfield. So who's your sitting midfield, I guess?
I picked Czech Doucouré for that one.
Jeez.
Mm-hmm.
Get in there.
Big fan of him. Big fan of him.
Yeah, CM knows ball. CM knows the CMs.
Not McTominay.
What, McSauce, yeah?
Do me a favor, please. Nah, to be fair to him, he's been a lot better recently, but he ain't getting over the choices today.
I'm just saying this now. We can still fit McFred in this midfield as well if you want.
Oh hell no. We ain't going back there. So we're gonna put I chose Christian Eriksen, and it may be controversial to some Bruno Fernandes.
Christian Eriksen and Bruno.
I can't really be
mad
at that because Eze's season is a bit wrong.
Eze has one outstanding game and he has two stinkers.
I agree with that.
That's what we're dealing with right now with him. All right, let's go up top. Let's go left wing first.
Will's got to be on the left for me.
On the right.
I was thinking about,
because you got Anthony, you got Sancho, you got Elise, you got Ayew.
Yeah, I mean, is it too soon to pick Anthony because he's just played one game? For then it would be between Sancho.
Okay, well in that case, take Sancho's best game so far this season and then pit that against Anthony and then say what you think.
I think Sancho's
good against Liverpool.
Yeah, I mean, with Sancho, he's had his moments where he's had bright spurts and then kind of filtered out in the second half. So he hasn't been a constant threat through the whole games, but he's had some good first halves. So I probably see freaking Anthony.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot. Yeah. We've seen a few Anthonys. We can't. I don't think we can really have a shout for Elise because he's still coming back right now. He's not fully fit.
I'll put Anthony there. Because I liked what I saw from him, to be fair, against Arsenal. Not just his attacking contributions, but his defensive contributions as well, which is probably something that's not highlighted as much with him.
And finally, up top.
I think the only guy we can choose is Marcus Rashford, really, because Martial's been injured. Ronaldo hasn't had a contribution, just cameos off the bench. And Rashford, even though it's not his best position, he scored goals and got assists. So, yeah.
We ain't got no one to offer.
No, we really don't, do we?
No, we don't. So, CM, are you happy with this 11?
Yeah, I would say I'm happy with it.
Cool. So, I think I would probably only make. I would make one change here, and it's probably a more controversial one. I would play Klein over Dallo.
Mm.
You know what? Dallo's had a good year. Normally, I would say yeah, but Dallo's had a good season this season.
Dallo has really hit the ground running.
Yeah, he's actually been better.
Yeah.
But to be fair, Klein's been good as well.
Yeah,
Definitely,
Klein's been
he's-
good the whole of last season, and when he's played this season, he's been very good. I remember Klein's been playing left back most of this season, so he's not actually had a full go at right back yet.
Good point.
I hear that one. Yeah. But safe to say we're agreeing.
We're agreeing, but that's just a nitpick. Like I wouldn't change anything else because honestly, we can't pick anyone in that midfield apart from Doucouré and Mitch. As I said, Mitchell's not had a good season, which is why I let you have Malacia so easily. VG's been good the last couple games, but that's just because his kicking's looking a bit better than it normally does. But I think it's good that we've actually got a Palace player in each part of the team. So we've got one in the defense, one in the midfield, and one in the attack. So
and
in
it
my
is our
opinion,
players too.
Yeah, it's probably all our best three players that are in the squad as we speak. Rich, Nicky, are you happy with this?
I'm happy with it, especially considering a recent stat showed that Joachim Andersen at the moment is inside the top 3 of like clearances and tackles and whatnot in the top 5 league. So
I've seen that I've seen the stat that Anderson's completed the most progressive balls into the opposition half in the world out of any player so far this season.
Yeah, his ball playing ability is unbelievable. I'm thinking about a partnership with him and Martinez, man. 2 ball playing CBs, man. They'll be spraying it all over the place. Sure, that guy's not for sale.
For the right price.
We ain't selling you no more players. No. I am not. I will not have this club sell any more players to United.
Put it this way: if Fofana's 70 million, then he's got to be 80, surely.
I don't want to go through that price again.
Exactly. If you know, you know. But yeah, switching it on to Palace now, CM. Out of our players right now, we've just told you the 3 of our players which we think are having the best season so far. Who are you watching out for? Who do you think that United need to shut down so they can win this game?
I think the midfield battle is going to be very important. What I've been impressed whenever I've seen Doucouré in the midfield is he can break up play, but he can also bring the ball forward and he distributes the ball at the right time. With your attacking threat in Will Zaha, that guy has been in unbelievable form since pre-season, scoring goals, looking confident and being direct. And it's not a situation where that whole attack relies upon Will Zaha to produce moments of magic now. He has a lot of the weight off of him and it's distributed to other guys like your Elise's, Eze's, etc. So Will Zaha, his runs beyond the defense, they're going to have to stay switched on, especially if he's playing at the left side. We saw against Arsenal, even though it was disallowed, Martinelli got the best of Diogo Dalot in that one situation, and that's what you can't do with pacey players who are smart enough to know when to hold the line and then make that run, and obviously with those winning passes. So we're going to have to be switched on with the likes of Will Zaha, who will willingly run beyond on goal, and with one-on-ones, it's a 50-50 situation.
Yeah, 100%. Nate, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. Obviously, I've seen the news as I was on my way home from work, so I've seen what's happening in that. But obviously, it was a bit frivolous doing a preview now with obviously what broke this spot. Obviously, first and foremost, RIP to Her Majesty the Queen. Obviously, condolences to her family and anybody that was a royalist. But look, it is what it is. And look, 96, those are innings that I know for a fact I won't get. So, credit to her for living a very long life and 70 years in the top job in this country. 15 prime ministers. And, what can you say? She's an institution that we can all proudly say we were there when she was alive. Sadly, we were there when she passed. But listen, to the royal family, we have to say, we express our heartfelt condolences to everyone within the royal family. That's all I want to say about that. But yeah, man, it feels pointless doing a match preview now, but here we are.
But yeah, well, unfortunately, some doors closed, some others open. Let's hope that the new king can do as good of a job. But Nate, what's your original thoughts on this game that might or might not be happening this weekend?
I mean, obviously, you look at their recent form out of the first 6 games, lost 2, won 4. Erik ten Hag has managed to turn around a very bleak-looking corner because obviously they lost 2 games they would have expected 3 points from, despite the fact that no game is really easy in the Premier League anymore. But you look at Man United and Brighton and Brentford on paper, you're expecting United to get the 6 points in those fixtures, with all due respect to those 2 teams, who, by the way, played fantastic on the day and firmly deserved the 3 points. But since then, Ten Hag has learnt lessons as to what players are willing to play from and what players aren't willing to put the graft into the shirt. And you got to say, 4 wins from 4. Okay, some of them weren't as convincing as others, but 3 points is all that matters. Doesn't matter if it's a convincing win or an unconvincing win. If you get the 3 points, that's all that matters at the end of the day. So This is going to be a tricky game. It's never easy for us at Selhurst Park against Man United. Even last season, end of last season, the 1-0 win did nothing for us and didn't really do anything for them. So you can't even look at it and say our first win at home over Man United was such a momentous occasion. It was like, brother, we didn't go up the table. We didn't go down the table. We stayed where we were. But it's just important to, if this game does go ahead, which I highly doubt it will, but, prior to what broke today, you're looking at this game, and before it got postponed, the Brighton game, you're thinking these are 2 massive games. We just need to get out of the way, whatever the result, and just focus on the games coming up after this where we've got more winnable fixtures where we can actually get more points back on the board. Because to have 6 points where we are now, I can't feel like some of those points we dropped in some of those games will prove to be a bit too costly. But look, we're now one and a bit seasons into Patrick Vieira's time at the football club. He wasn't just wave a magic wand and make us amazing to watch overnight. We have to make mistakes. We have to have windows where we don't sign players we need in every position. Because bear in mind, we've already done that. The whole point of bringing in someone like Vieira was we'd have a squad ready to transition towards him, as opposed to having to have him deal with Roy Hodgson's players and Frank de Boer's players and Alan Pardew's players and the like. I'm not, obviously, there are players from those eras in this team, but we can't move Jordan Ayew on for 10 million because we've got him for 2.5. We'd be robbing someone if we tried to sell him for that much money. So, he's got to work with what he's got. Is what he's got ideal for challenging for Europe and winning cups? No. But it's what we've got to work with. And admittedly, I'd love to see us sign Ismail Sarr and that and see us level up the table. But we don't have an empty bucket of, a bottomless bucket of money, should I say, to go and sign these players. So it's important that you look at games like this and say, listen, United are on an upward curve. You could argue when you think you've hit the peak of that curve, you've won 4 in a row, you're likely to hit a fall. But I was excited for the game on Sunday, but I don't know. I don't know anymore because obviously external circumstances, but these are usually games that you can't really call. It's one or the other. It's never like a neck and neck game. I still remember Matic scoring that screamer last few minutes when we were 2-0 up. It's just like, God's sake, why? Just why? And then there's the Van Aanholt goal at Old Trafford, which kind of made it a little bit better, but it wasn't a seller's winner. But look, we take what we get in football.
100%. I think, well, CM needs to go and sort out his own stream for the United or whatever. I feel another United game happening now.
Yeah. You guys can do your predictions if you want. It's cool.
But I think one question I want to ask you more is, we don't know what strikers we're going to play between Mateta and Edouard. Which striker would you guys probably fear more if we started them?
Yeah. Right now, I'm thinking Mateta. He's physically dominant. From what I've seen, a lot of him. So he'll probably be a handful between the two of them. What we've seen from Varane and Martinez is they've been pretty calm in a lot of situations, but they haven't really gone up against a crazily dominant and physical striker at this moment of time. So I'll probably say I fear Mateta more at this moment.
No, fair enough. I think the majority of the fan base would prefer Mateta starting at this moment in time, but hey, Roski, let them know where they can find you so they can go straight in and tune into your stream straight after this.
Blessings to everybody once again. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Make sure you drop a like, subscribe. You can find me at CM22ENT over on Twitch, YouTube, all socials. I'm going to be doing a watch along for the Man United game against Real Sociedad real soon, so check that out.
Appreciate it, bro. Yeah, we've dropped CM's links in the description for you to make sure you go in and tune in. CM?
Thank you for having me. Take care, guys. Bring on the weekend if it does happen.
Yeah.
Take care, guys.
Take it easy. You know what, I think to probably end the stream, actually, that could be appropriate if we had our own little moment of silence for the Queen. It's obviously just sad news,
I think we should mute ourselves as well, to be honest.
Is it 75 years?
70 years on the throne.
Well, as Nate said, even just living to the age of 96 is bad.
It's unbelievable. So yeah, we'll do that now. We'll have a minute of silence and we'll just end the stream and stuff. But big up for everyone that's inside and supported. Obviously, just a waiting update as to whether or not these games go ahead. I believe the EFL are going to make a decision soon. But most importantly, guys, listen, treasure life. And tell your loved ones you love them. Tell your close ones you love them. Guys, minute silence from us from Eagle Eye Football, and then we're out.